So the green light is on. Hopefully that's mean we are on. Let me test the audio and the camera. Excuse me. And the camera. So welcome back everyone. I haven't been active on YouTube for a while because I have been working behind the scene for around 4 or 5 days. Before that I took a break for a week. Or actually I couldn't work for a week because my head was full. And the reason why I wasn't active on YouTube is I'm dealing with a lot of code that I'm kinda don't wanna show. And in this video, if by mistake I showed any of it, I will just delete the video and stop it. So let's see if it will pass or not. So I've been dealing with control and it's a quiet, you might think it's quite a mess. I mean, before, I don't blame you if you're not following me. And here, I'm sorry, but I'm giving up. I don't think anyone will follow me. But I will try to describe what's going on, nevertheless. So we have, first of all, the controller. Or even on higher hierarchy is the control manager. And this guy is responsible on taking all the keys that has been pressed by the game and check all the controllers. Every controller represents a player. If you play with two characters and another guy play with two characters, these are two controllers, not four, two. Each controller can have a set of control, and I called it a controller profile to customize your own keys. The only purpose for the sucker, the controller profile, is to customize keys. And the rest will be a huge mess. The rest is just, this is as close as I could go. So let's open the control manager and try write what is going on so far. Wait a minute. Yeah, I need to increase the font size. So this one has been done, the control manager. Based if their profile has the key or not. So this is correct. And to the controller, current object. The controller object will send the request to its blueprint object, the AP. If the condition is correct, it was sent. So let's go and check it by code step by step, unfortunately, I cannot show you two screens in here. Huh? Let me try this. Very horrible, very horrible. So the first step is in here to get things better. On. So when the key is pressed, it's sent to the control manager. There you go. Control manager, it takes the press keys, which is equal to all current state pressed keys, and it sends the current state and the previous state too. And to be honest, we will see how this will work. So this is the first step. The second step, raw files to check the keys if it exist. So let's go to the control manager, and in here for each press keys we have, we check if the key input off the controller profile. So the control manager here, take the key, the press keys, and go through all the controllers and check their profiles. If it has the key or not. And then if it has the key, it will send it to the object. So here, check the key inputs, which are the list keys that the profile know, which you can change from the game menu, which will create it in few years. But for now, I'm actually creating them inside the test class here, adding the keys manually, which will only for testing purposes because I'm building the system. Later on, there will be a GUI to do that. And if it does, it will check the owner, which is the controller that owned the profile, and use the current target, the unit that he's playing with. For example, if you're playing Super Smash once again, and you select Mario, for example, it will send the keys to Mario. It doesn't send it to random one. It sends it to the one that you're playing it now. And it sends the keys that you actually the key request. For example, if you click on Super Smash B, then it will say special move. A, then normal attack or something. I kind of forgot which key do what. Then the controller object will send the request to the AP. So let's go to the controller. Wait. Controller. Controller, my friend. Action add, and this the creature object. And yes, here what I kinda felt this is not correct, and that's why we are following the steps by step. This where are we in the grammar definition? Scenario example. I don't know what's al-i'rab mean in English. Oh, the control object will send the request to the blueprint. If the condition is correct, it will send the active action to the controller. The active action shall be set in time. And so what's going on here? If I open the other program, and go to the action condition, so we have Walker here, and Walker can have different animations. He can play, can walk, I mean, he can jump, can walk with a gun in his hand, but not it doesn't show you the layers in here. It can aim, can be idle, and it can float. And this is I made it from IAS. I just took the animation for jump and just took the last 2 frames over. And if we go to the action condition, he can be on the ground or on the air, and both of them consider an action. And he can walk and jump and whatever, and go down and platform, go down like crouch. So if we go to the action condition and say, I already made those, you can make them in here. Oh, sorry, you can check them in here too. So I say if he's on the ground and he ordered the user order him to jump, then he do jump. If he's on the ground and walking, then he can jump too. And this is the thing. The jump while he's walking might be faster horizontally, but not vertically. and that's why I separate the two. I could remove this walk or remove the whole thing and just make it jump, but then there will be issues because actually the action condition can do one active condition at once. Can it do two? So no, I can't separate it. Sorry, that's something that's not supported in my engine. So if he's on the ground attacking, different than on the air attacking, and if he's on the ground attacking and moving, it's kind of different than on the ground. Maybe I can separate the two some, but for now, yeah, I need to add on air move attack action because I don't have one. I call it air attack too. Complicated? Maybe. But look, each character that can control will get separated data in here. I don't need to deal with them in like, it's organized. It's much more organized than my old mess. Complicated, as I said, once again, maybe, but that give you more control. That give you much more control to do exactly what you want to do. And in here, I set animations for them. Like when I do jump or do jump 2, it's the same animation. As long as, and there's no condition for the equipments. All the equipments will let you jump the same thing. So look at that. 12 minutes just to show what I did so far. And I add this new tag. And we need to change some of the stuff. Sorry. Kinda not in the mood to work. It's already late, and my stomach is having some issue. I discover the caffeine screw my stomach badly, and I stopped drinking coffee altogether. But I cannot quit the soda. That's the problem. So, one of the things that I struggled with at the end is we have a creature object and we have animated particle, and the animated particle is working as a blueprint for the creatures. So all the enemies considered creatures, but each one of them consider a type of creatures. Like if you have an imp and a gargoyle, for example, and a skeleton. All of them, the objects on the map, considered the same class, the creature. Because this guy is the embodiment of the creature on the map. It has certain names: skeleton A, skeleton B, skeleton C. It has a certain side. Is he looking at the right, or looking at the down, or looking at the up, or looking on the left? And it has a position. It has a speed. All of these things in the particle. It has an angle where he's tilted. Actually, the particle is working in all this demo, which I showed many times. So this is the movement, the position of the character, the tiltation, the enlargement. All of these considered particle stuff. The speed is there, but is not programmed. Just placeholder in there. And so all of these things considered part of the particle. So the creature has all of these data in here. Is he pausing now? Can he walk? And if he has HP, if he has certain skills, certain levels, all of the data are in here. And this is the job object. The blueprint, what kind of skills can I level up, are not in here, and not in the job object. They are in, let me check the name, in the job plan. So this is how I'm organizing my data. So I don't need to give the same data all the skeletons skills trees where they are. They don't need to know that. They don't need to know how much extra HP they get per level. All these kind of info. You shouldn't know about these. And here is the active actions. And I'm working on this now. For example, what's the characters doing now? Is he jumping and attacking in the same time? So if the character doesn't have a skill to jump and attack, it won't do anything actually. Even though the user sending him valid request to jump and attack, and he have the conditions to jump and he have the conditions to attack, and yet if the character doesn't support attacking in the air, it won't do it. This is the action condition system. It's giving me a huge amount of control, and I love it, and I really love it. What I don't love about it is building it is getting forever. So because this is a very generic thing that represent all the creatures, I cannot check the action conditions in here. I cannot say well, if this guy jump and attack, no, not in that way. I cannot say, well, if there is a wall in front of you and you want to walk toward that wall, then you cannot do it. I cannot do that in here. Why? Because this is a very generic class. It doesn't know the limitation of action conditions. What if I have add a ghost who can go through the walls? And actually we have one. I don't remember which Demon King ghost, but we have one, at least one. And he can go through walls. What if I'm checking flying and this creature, this skeleton doesn't fly? I cannot check the conditions in here, and this is what's boggled me. But in the same time, this is the real object. The code should be in here, not in the blueprint. But actually, after I thought about it for a little bit, the blueprint should check these two. But the blueprint, oh sorry, not this one, the animated one. So as you can see, it's a little bit complicated. So the blueprint have an action request delegate, which is created. Remember, all of this is the engine project. This is the game project. All the code that we are talking about is in the engine project. It should be static for all the games. I should take the project, connect the game with it, and it worked the same with the other game. So where can I define new action conditions for different games? Inside the game code. That's what's going on. So where do you define these conditions to make sure that this guy is not walking through the wall? Is actually in here in the game test. But this guy doesn't know anything about the action animation particle, animation result, nothing. Zero. But we can redefine these functions, the action request, and give it a new delegate like this. And what I did last thing, just today, is actually I send the request and the creature object. So we can change it from there directly. We don't need to go through some ridiculous tracking through the controller and the default or the current target, the profile to get the creature object. It immediately know where's the creature that requesting these actions. So it's kind of mess, and I didn't know it will go that far, but I don't know how to put it. But actually it's falling like dominoes. It's falling perfectly. It just not dominoes, Tetris. It just they just fall exactly where they should fall. And hopefully till the end it will fall where it should fall. So 20 minutes describing what's going on. Hopefully this will be enough to cover up what have I done and what I'm dealing with and all of this. And now let's focus a little bit. Oh, I already changed the side in here, but I'm not checking for the walls. So what's left? What is left? And in here, oh yes, yes, yes. When the action condition is applied, I need to move the character to. I mean, this is just the AA, the active condition. Sorry, this is the active action. This is just the action. But it didn't apply the whole condition. It's not walk and on air or walk and on ground. I need, if the three of them, like walk and jump and on air, to move horizontally and dropping, or not dropping actually, descending from the ground. So we need to do something. This is starting to become a little bit tricky. What I'm trying to say is, when the action is applied correctly, based on the action condition here, he need to move, he need to fire, he need to do stuff. And as you can see in here, I was going to do this stuff as data driven, but for now it's kind of hard to make it data driven from day one. I will make it as hard code first. When I finish the hard code first, then if it's successful and everything is working, then maybe I will go back and replace it a little bit by making it data driven. But for now, it's kind of difficult from the get to go to make it data driven. So unfortunately, I fear we need to add another action. Sorry, not action. Another delegate. I kind of fear that. So in this guy, let me show you. Let me show you Walker, how he will look like. So if we go to the maps, because Walker is living in the map, we go to the creature, and we have two walkers actually. And in here, we can see the speed, the size, his position. And if we check the second one, his position is a little bit different for tiles on the right of the original. And we need to change the creature's arrays to have a creature list of arrays, and each list is based on a function, a faction. But let's do that later. So this is the creature. This is the guy that you see on the map and moving around. Let's go to the blueprint. If I remember the name. And it's in the game file this time. So this is Walker. And you have 5 states. It can be either idle or dropping, moving in the air, or moving, or attacking, or moving and attacking. Wait, states are like that outside. Why it's not in the... So these are the actions. He can be either set of these, like he can be on the ground or on the air or on both. So we need to make some kind of exceptions, or not exceptions. Every time you add it on the ground, it delete on air, and if it is add on air, it delete on the ground. Walk, jump, down, up on platform, and attack. There are a lot of things I need to add more, but first, let's try to make the sucker move and appear on the screen. So you see it's taking around 30 minutes just to track down and check what the hell is going on. So the thing is a little bit complicated. It's not like walking in a park or something. And here are the conditions that they need to be idle, for example. Oh, Shimata. You need to be on the ground and attack to attack. You need to be on the ground and clicking down and jump, and he's on the platform to drop jump from the platform. So this is how the system works, or it's supposed to work. You need to check the action condition list, and if they are valid, it apply it. But who is applying it? Who is telling you? All right. So this is the action condition is applied. All right. Now what? So we need to figure out some of this stuff. The first thing I need to figure out is to know which animation frame is the sucker at. So let's add it. And I need to be careful when I add stuff like these, because we have two systems that dealing with the same crap. I don't remember what was the map name. Oh, there you go. Look, it changed the frame because this is not the... I deleted the old Walker and it has a different animation sets, and we add a new Walker, and when the map is loaded, it loaded the new Walker. It doesn't care which Walker animation is data. It's care as long as this object is called Walker, then it will just load the data from the blueprint. I like it. But there's something funny. It should show... Now I'm going swimming away. What I need to do? Yeah, it seems I didn't save the last... I changed the image that it start with, and I made it into this one, 7th. So I even we save. Walker. Nope. It need a unique name. Do you remember when I show you the map, the data on the game, it just says Walker 1, Walker 2, or actually Walker and Walker 1? Yeah, it need a unique name in here. So let's try to load it again. I'm just curious to see if my system is working exactly how I want it. Yeah, I worked a lot on the game file, and sometimes I forgot. I kind of forget that this program is made for map editing. And no, it doesn't load based on the original frames. Load on the first frame. Oh well. Anyway, sorry to. We want to check the creature object. And as you can see, the class is a little bit different. Do we need animation frame in here? I don't think so, because I'm not going to make the characters move in the map editor. That will be just overkill. I don't want to make two game engines, okay? I don't want to test the characters moving on the map live. So I might not need to add it in there, but I will add it in here. Let's call it frame or current frame. And maybe if I actually I believe the byte is initialized by 0 by default. Cannot have um, numbers data type in C# without 0. They are nillable, I believe. Don't take that from me and do some stupid shit, comments or whatever. Actually, so far I have 0 comments on my channel and 1 like. Only 1 like. I barely get any views because I don't add my channel. And I don't want to add my channel while I'm doing this. Just tracking. So, okay, wait. Yes, I have 2 things in my mind. To make something that drag all the characters to the ground and give the creature objects on the ground or on the air flag. And the second thing that I want to do in my head is add another delegate. Kinda harsh, it's kinda annoying, it's kinda mean, it's kinda... And let's try to... Not active condition. Activation. You wanna give it like this? Well, it's kinda obvious. I mean, the name is so clear, but so long. Active condition activate. And it's so confusing in the same time. So we have the active condition. And we have the target. So in the creature, similar trick to this one. Yeah, I really don't want to do that, but It's kinda, I don't have any other choice. So we need to compare if these active actions set exactly the set that it exists in the action condition. So we do for each game file. I love it when it's like this. Oh, maybe because nope. Oh, sorry. I should say hash set. So this is the blueprint for this creature. Oh, so this is an action condition. And the action condition has the hash set that I'm targeting. So what we are going to do actually, let's change some of the stuff a little bit. Yeah, it's been a little bit too slow, and this is one of the reason why I don't stream. It just I'm moving slowly in here. Because as you can see, all of these are connected. I never ever ever in this work done anything similar to this. Yes, on the plane, on the design, on the plans, they are connected before. But I never actually reached to the point that I'm connecting them. So this is kind of the most complex um, work I ever done on this project. Before it was the action condition, and now it's the action condition plus control. So you see why it's more complicated than the action condition, because I'm dealing with both now. I need to make them work somehow. So we take this sucker, remove it. So what we are going to do, I love you doing these stupid things. Value, key, value. Yeah, I changed my sentence all of a sudden because I discovered I was the one stupid. Um, now we can use the equality function in here. And actually, if I knew how to override the equality function safely and make it work from the action condition, I won't need to do this. I will just... Oh wait, this not the key. Any I discover somehow later on that go animated particle, I believe, and in here, I believe in here you can change the equality function. Here, see, and you send the equality but I never successfully made it work. So I'll still let you know if you want to change the comparator. And let's send the sucker. So if they are equal, then we should send the action condition. Easy, right? So we will do similar stuff here. Focus. But this time instead we have the action request. We have the action condition activation. Oh. Can I say active condition? So we wrote our warning, and if it is valid, then we should all the damn thing. Fail to track. So we cannot return it, and this is not a request. Actually, ACK E. And you see in here we can double activation several different active conditions if we want. So there is a way to activate more than one active condition on the same time. So for example, if you walk and jump and walk are different active conditions, and I leave the code like this. Oh wait, it must be equal. Sorry. So the first time it find it, it will leave the code, and this one should be called periodically period actively. I don't know. That's that word. Shame on me. periodically, periodically. There's no T somehow. Anyhow. So we need to put this in the update somewhere. But before we do that, to be honest, I'm trying to think about doing the physics, not the physics engine. It's just a stupid guy who will check all the objects on the map, and if they are not flyable, it won't drag them down. If they are on the ground, it won't drag them down, and check them as on the ground. If they are on the ground, it ignore them. No, actually, he's the one who's he cannot ignore them. So check if there's a platform below them or not. And I want to do that. And I might let him to check the action set. The game engine should be responsible on the physics engine, but for now I'll make it as a hard code. Later on, this is the first game and I'm trying to make something working, and doing the things that the engine should do is taking forever. So I'm moving some of the code to the game itself as a hard code, and it will work even if I add the support to the engine later by using its own support for the physics. So if later on I add the engine and then I update the game and then I release it as a package with the old engine and the new code and the new engine, it will work. Hopefully. And this is where bugs usually emerge. So anyway, I'm flying away everywhere. So the reset will empty the action conditions, but to be honest, I don't want to put the reset in here because I mean I'm not going to empty the complicated. I cannot empty the action set yet for one reason, is this character must be either on the ground or on the air. So what we are going to do, actually I will shut up and empty it. Later on, check if this guy is on the ground or on the air by calling the physics thingy function. So we will do something like that later. So over the time, this thing should be checked and this thing should, and I'm thinking to connect them with the physics engine so it doesn't make some kind of weird issue, like you jump and then physics engine call in the wrong time and it's considered you on the ground but you should be on the air or stuff, even though jump work both on the air and the ground, but just to avoid problems like, I was going to put it in the main game update, these two function calls, but we will see about it. So all of this stuff, all of these guys should work the same on all the creatures. Actually, yeah, I cannot do this then. I cannot do this, sorry. Because this is not the responsibility of the creature object. To check if this on the ground on the air. Oh wait, it can be for this game, but other games it doesn't. Yeah, it can be. It can be. Unless if we have something that break the rule, that it doesn't matter if it's on the ground or in the air. I don't know if I'm going to add water and make some of the creatures swim in this game, but there's a possibility in here. Um, so let's go to the test game. So this is the game project. We are not in the engine project anymore. You come here, you'll see this is the game project, this is the engine project. I'm almost bragging about that because I never done this before and I feel so damn good about it. And I kinda don't like how this thing working. I might move them into a different font. So this is the control initialize. And I need to add a debugging. We will do exactly the same thing. And here we call it C. C. Does it require the return or whatever? What's the problem? Hold down. Yeah, I start to get tired. Actually, it returned nothing. Alright, so what's the problem? So it's kind of weird. It's the blueprint, but in the same time, it manipulates its own objects. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of a little bit weird. So one of the examples and game. I'm not going to open the game file for you because that's one of the forbidden cards. I mean forbidden codes. So we have walk, and if he's on the ground and walk, it's called walk with capital W. So let's move these guys to there. And let me move this idiot to the second screen. It will cover my screen. So we have around, give or take. We have idle. We have walk. Jump 1. We have jump 2. And we didn't even start with moving the gun around. That's another story. Drop jump. Even attack is not ready yet. And we are not printing the characters yet because I'm still working on this part. I really wish if this one is, as I said, is depending only on the data driven by using the tags in here. I was planning to do that, but I apologize. The code will look a little bit weird, but what to do? What to do? The system is not ready for that yet. Or my head is not ready for that. If you want to see the game in 3 years, then I will try to do that. So we have drop 1, float 1, float 2. And one of the other issues that bothers me a little bit, but not that much, is jumping while you're standstill is different than jumping while you're moving right and left. Dropping down while you're moving is different than dropping down when you're not moving. It's different than when you're dropping because the platform below your feet is disappeared. You didn't. It's just kind of a little bit weird, and I will try to go around that. The thing is, this will give me an absolute more control to make the character move differently in each cases. Oh, what is this? I can't read it. Air attack. So there you go. So all of these guys should activate the animation based on the tags. So that part will be data driven, this part. So after the switch is done, I should call the animation result on the target to play the animation. So we should make a function for that for later, but for now I want to give you an example on what is going on. So one of the things that really bothers me, that this guy will change the side of the character. He's looking on the right or on the left before he start walking. Actually, this walk, if you notice, it starts with small letter because this is an active action, not an active condition. This one is the small one in here, but it must be coupled with on the ground to make him walk. This is just asking the user to walk. And actually we need to add an action in here or a condition here, like if there is no wall in front of the target, stuff like that. Then it will return the walk. But actually, this should be in here in the result. Why? Because I don't want the user to hold on right to walk, then he hold on left, and the character will keep switching between right and left while he's walking to the right. I don't want that happening, and I don't know how the game will behave, but I believe that's what will be the result. So look at that. A lot of them in work, only one creature, and we already have 2 long functions to deal with. And as I said, this part, hopefully in the future, I won't need to add it. It will be automatically generated. But for now, because it's so freaking complicated, I cannot pull that out from my head immediately. I'm going to make it as hard code, and hopefully it won't be that complicated because I can close them like this. I might find other ways to manage the data, like making the files on here, and create one that have all the info for Walker, like all of these in one file, to make it easier on me to check them out instead of having all of these guys in here and the initialize. And this one will definitely be generated from the game file and from the main menu, so I'm not worried about this one. This one will get replaced, and there you go. Recently I answered someone on YouTube on why programming is complicated. Not complicated, it's tense to program, and this video sum it all, I guess. Well, thank you for watching and see you next time.